I think the American people are really getting tired of it.
Sadly, the president was surrounded by a group of crackpot lawyers that kept telling him what his itching ears wanted to hear.
And coming up on the news at noon, all eyes are on the district ahead of the historic arraignment of former President Donald Trump. We're breaking down everything you need to know about the indictment. Plus, getting fake drugs through social media, the warning from officials to parents of young children. And later, getting your cut of the cash, how you can make sure to get paid as several class action settlements are wrapping up.
And happy Thursday, guys. We are seeing a few spotty showers in the forecast, but overall, beautiful start to the weekend. So definitely keep it here. Check out that forecast. It's coming up.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. The district preparing for the arraignment of former President Donald Trump. That's scheduled to happen later this afternoon at the E. Barrett Prettyman Courthouse. And you can see here that barriers are being set in place ahead of the former president's expected appearance. The former president was indicted on several federal charges earlier this week. Now, while Trump's indictment is making national headlines, it's also hitting home for many men and women in law enforcement here in the district. Some D.C. police officers responded and defended the Capitol during the January 6th insurrection. Two of the most outspoken officers who still deal with the trauma from January 6th released statements after the indictment. U.S. Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn said, quote, "All I've ever wanted from day one is accountability and justice for the law enforcement men and women who fought bravely on January 6th. And former D.C. police officer Michael Fanone said, quote, "It disgusts me that House Republicans are heinously coming to the defense of Trump's criminal behavior while putting up the foundation of our democracy as collateral."
People are our friends, our neighbors. They represent those who protect us every day. And it is extremely important to stand up to them. If Donald Trump is not held accountable, then our democracy is in grave peril.
And that's after those hundreds of police officers suffered physical and mental injuries on January 6th, and that was 2021. Today, D.C. police will work with Secret Service to keep the former president and the public safe as Mr. Trump makes his way to court. And there are already a sizable police presence around the courthouse as some protesters are gathering. That's where Daniel Hamburg joins us live now. Daniel, what are you seeing out there?
Well, Mark, we have seen a couple dozen Trump protesters out here with their Trump flags and other signs kind of marching around the courthouse here. We've also seen the other side, some people holding signs spelling out justice, people wanting these proceedings to go through for Mr. Trump to have his day in court. Now, if New York was any indication of when former President Trump was indicted on separate charges, there wasn't a big crowd there. There was a sizable crowd, but nothing too out of control. So we're not expecting anything out of control today. But like I said, police are here just in case anything happens. Now, Mr. Trump is, of course, facing charges relating to the 2020 election and the insurrection on January 6th, conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, and obstruction of an attempt to against rights. He's expected to plead not guilty. The court proceedings today start at 4 o'clock. Mr. Trump is expected to land at the airport at around 3 and come here to the courthouse through a private entrance through the underground garage here at the Prettyman Courthouse. Now, prosecutors allege that the events of January 6th were fueled by lies from Mr. Trump. That is what they will be arguing in court today. Trump did post today on his own social media platform, Truth Social, basically calling out all of this as political persecution. He has maintained that this is an attempt to what he calls basically as the front runner in the Republican party that this is all political, but prosecutors say this is not political and that Mr. Trump needs to answer for those charges. We will be monitoring the proceedings throughout the afternoon here and bring you the very latest just in about a half hour here, as well as throughout the afternoon. We're live in Northwest. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, thank you. And we're tracking several road closures ahead of the arraignment. Our Lex Juarez is helping you navigate today's traffic.
Well, that's right. With former President Donald Trump back in the district for this court day, we are going to see downtown D.C. with congestion, and it's going to be different and changing throughout the day. Most of that congestion we're going to see in this part of downtown around the courthouse. Now, we will see 3rd Street, Pennsylvania Avenue, Constitution Avenue, as well as 4th and 5th Streets, likely having lots of road closures in the area. The Metropolitan Police Department and Capitol Police are working together with the Secret Service to put these road closures into place. Those are going to be rolling road closures. So what's really important here is that people who are driving through the district be aware that these are going to be happening and just be paying extra attention as you drive through the district today. Now, that court date is at 4 o'clock today. President Trump probably coming through sometime around 2 or 3. So it's definitely going to be important that people pay attention. And like I said, keep in mind, especially as you're in that downtown area.
Lex Juarez, thank you. And this latest indictment is the 3rd against the former president. You may remember he was first indicted by a New York grand jury back in March. That case alleges that Mr. Trump falsified business records in connection to hush money payments made to an adult film actress during his 2016 campaign. A trial is set for next March. Then in June, a federal grand jury in Florida charged the former president with violating the Espionage Act. That's after the former president allegedly hoarded classified documents in his Mar-a-Lago home. The trial is scheduled for next May. And the latest indictment handed down earlier this week alleges the former president and his team worked to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Meantime, another grand jury is weighing possible charges against Mr. Trump for working to overturn the 2020 election results in Georgia, a decision expected sometime this summer. And for continuing coverage of Mr. Trump's historic indictment, you can visit us online at dcnewsnow.com. Just use the search word Trump in the search bar on the top right corner of your screen. It will help you find the most up-to-date articles. Well, taking a live look outside, of course, at the Washington Monument. Another day of comfortable temperatures, but some people in the DMV won't be staying dry all day. Brittany Ward is in for meteorologist Damon Matson. Brittany, how are things looking this afternoon through the early evening?
You know, Mark, it's going to be a beautiful afternoon for you guys to definitely get outside and enjoy it. We are tracking some showers, though, as we end out your Thursday. So take a look at radar showing you the last hour across the entire mid-Atlantic. You can see showers already starting to pop up there in North Carolina, portions of southern Virginia as well. But putting a pause on the radar, zooming it into the DMV, much of the area is dry. We're starting to see a few showers begin to develop there along I-81, along the Allegheny front, but they're really light in nature. And honestly, as we head through the rest of your afternoon into the evening hours, we are going to be seeing some spotty showers. Not going to be a complete washout today. Temperature-wise, it's very comfortable out there. We're talking about 77 here in the nation's capital, 79 as you head further off into Hagerstown, getting into the lower 80s there in Woodstock. And take a look at these dew point temperatures. We're slowly starting to see an increase in those dew point temperatures, and these will help fuel some of the showers that we'll be seeing as we head through the afternoon into the evening tonight. So what to expect through the rest of your day today? Well, highs are going to be yet again on the warmer side, but it's going to be comfortable out there. 86 is expected to be the high in the nation's capital. 85 as you head over there to Martinsburg. 86 as well in Cumberland. And as we end out your work week, we are still tracking a few showers, and then it looks like the weekend is going to start on the quiet note. So definitely keep it here, Mark. We'll time everything out for you guys in just a bit.
All right, Brittany, thank you. New this afternoon, an escaped mental hospital patient is now in custody after he was caught by Montgomery County Police. Officials say 19-year-old Darren Lee Jeter escaped from the state-run Eastern Shore Hospital Center on Tuesday. According to police, someone helped Jeter escape by firing gunshots into a hospital window, breaking it, then taken off in a getaway car. Jeter was later found in Montgomery County, 100 miles away from where he escaped. He was admitted to the hospital earlier this year, after being arrested for assaulting a police officer. And developing now, Patrick Woljan, former mayor of College Park, pleads guilty to 140 counts relating to child pornography. Although he faces 150 years, he will only have to serve 30. Woljan was arrested and charged in March after resigning from his position as mayor. The pornography charges include counts of possession, distribution, and intent to distribute. Further police investigation revealed that he was using a Kick account to send dozens of child porn videos. Police say that they also found several devices with videos on them.
It's honestly not fair to the people, the children that's been affected by this, because he's supporting such a horrible black market of child, endangerment and pornography. How are you, a leader in position of power, charged with that much and that horrible thing?
Woljan is scheduled to be sentenced in November. Well, drug enforcement officials have warning for parents as the opioid crisis continues to impact the nation and thousands of deadly pills flood parts of the DMV. The DEA issued a warning that social media is being used to distribute false pills which may contain fentanyl to kids. Officials are advising parents and children to only take pills from a trusted source.
There's a young person, for example, talking about how they're depressed or they have anxiety. They'll look to sell a pill, but they're not then giving a legitimate pill.
Just how big of a problem? In the last year, the DEA says that they seized 160,000 fake pills right here in the DMV.